What's going on YouTube? Modeling up back at you with the next build update on the Kingfisher. So a lot of, like I said, jumping around building today. Went through, got the base plate on to the interior set. So started in that work, getting those parts put in. Went ahead while I had some green going and just laid down a quick coat just to kind of see how it looked, stuff like that. So definitely will be coming back in. I got to super glue some additional pieces on up here at the front as well as in through here. So that is moving right along. Got the main seat painted up and pretty much ready to go. I mean, obviously minus all of the detail painting, weathering, etc. But I've at least got the build on. If you are going to use the Eduard set, the one thing I do want to go ahead and point out is around this part right here. This part is a separate, and what you'll have to do is cut off the locating tab and put that on before you put the metal ring on. Outside of that though, pretty straightforward. I was a little hesitant about painting this after the fact, but was actually able to get into pretty much all of the various angles and stuff like that to get that painted. So that is pretty much ready to go with the detail painting, getting the belts put in, and things like that. As you can see here, main float, I did go ahead and, while again I had some glue going, just threw it down just to kind of get a sense. As you can see, definitely going to need to sand these back, just kind of blend all of this in, make it not look as just tacky as it does. So just again, more of just a base coat just to kind of see how things are. Same with the wing floats. Again, not looking too hot at the moment, so I'll come back in with some sanding sponges, things like that, to smooth those out. Got the cockpit detail set out, and what I did on this, if I can get it to lock in, there we go. Any parts that were two-part, so you had the gauge, and then the top, went ahead and put the top on, and then using just a tiny dollop of Micro Marks Crystal Clear, just swirling that around, created the glass front for all of it. So really looks pretty nice. Again, catch it in the light, you get the nice glassy finish. So as I'm getting ready to be out of town for a few days, wanted to go ahead and get all of that in so it could definitely cure up before I go to put it in. Same with the main instrument panel here. So as you can see, same trick. Super glue the or sanded off the kit part, make that smooth, put the first layer on, put the second layer on, and then cleared all of the gauges, which I know a lot of people will put like a bubble effect. What I actually found was easier. Get a little bit onto a cocktail stick and then just run it around to fill it in a nice kind of semi-flat arrangement, and that seemed to fill it out really nicely and give it this effect. So again, that'll look really nice once it's inside. So I'm not going to fully get all of these out as I don't want to lose anything, but zoom in here. As you can see, I've got all of the seatbelts completed. This one is upside down, so I'll go ahead and flip this one over real quick. You can see the other side, maybe, if I can get a good grip. There we go. So has the two buckles on each part, basically folded over. Let me lock that in. So basically what I did was folded these over and then slipped the buckle on and then straightened them back out. Again, using my trusty pink cousin, I guess, brand. This is a brand that I found at Hobby Lobby. Really has a nice ergonomic feel. But again, also has no teeth on the blades, but use that to straighten them back out. Went ahead and also got one of the first boxes built. There's two that will be needing to get built. I was going to build this one thinking that I was needing it for another part, and then I realized that I didn't, and so immediately just threw it in here so I didn't lose it. This has definitely kind of become a bit of a catch-all for some parts that I don't need right now, but are definitely small. So things like the main instrument panel, and again also the wing floats, just to kind of protect those back ends a little bit better. So what I'm going to use the original kit belts for, while they weren't as detailed, I do have another 32nd scale kit that I'm going to be building. Probably will be in my next aircraft build. I'm going to use the Kitty Hawk belts on that. So again, look pretty nice, so I will try to use them. Went ahead, got the first coat of paint down on the engine. So again, just standard steel. Come back in and carefully try to paint the housing best that I can. I think I'm still debating, because it needs to be this kind of bluish color to be proper. Because again, the housing itself was the blue all the way through, and then the pots were all the steel. So gonna come in, try to brush paint that a little bit, and then get that put on. Again, got the front of the engine all painted up. No real primer, so we'll see how well the paint really does adhere with it and things like that. Seems like it's adhering pretty well, so again, I may have to come back in and touch it up. For that, I just use standard AK paint. Intermediate blue is what it called out for, which I think is a little bit too blue for this, but to be honest, the engine is going to be pretty much buried. So, and it actually the white balance of this makes it look a lot darker than what it is in real life. So yeah, in either case, got that. Got the engine mount all completed, and then also got the front firewall all completed. So this is a bit of a fiddly thing, and the one thing that I'm not 100% happy with how they did the engineering of this kit is with the chute for the front gun here. Also to note, put the gun in first, then put this piece in, because obviously this is the ammo box for the front gun, and it has to line up with one of the little nibs here on the side. If you don't have if you try to put that in after the fact, it just doesn't fit right. So put the gun in first, put the ammo box in second, then put actually I correct that. Put the ammo chute in first, gun, then box. Also, it's a bit fiddly to line up the actual barrel of the gun, so kind of had to play with that a little bit to get it to line up exactly right. But it is nice. It does have a bit of a hollow point here on the end. It's not trying to get that to center up was kind of a pain in the butt as well, so didn't exactly get on center, but should be fine. The other thing that really just kind of irritated me about the kit, so I went ahead, got the interior green just up there at the very front, so I can actually install the firewall onto this side, because the only way to get the ejection port to actually eject out is to cut the hole, because it was pretty much flush-sided. So there wasn't like a seam line that indicated like a chute, exit or anything like that. It just wasn't there. So went ahead and I just bit the bullet, carefully cut that out with a scriber, and then cleaned it up with the hobby knife to make it as square as I possibly could. So went ahead and done some test fitting before I got all the paint in it and stuff like that, and it does line up actually really well. So yeah, that'll be the next thing, getting the firewall put into here, after I do a little bit of brush painting on like the chute and stuff like that, so, and the gun and parts that's going to be difficult to paint both sides of later. But just a note, if again, for anybody else who's coming along to build this kit at a later date, it's just a few things that you have to look out for. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying the video series so far. Next part will probably be up on schedule, even with me being out. Once I get back, I'll probably sit down, go through a few more parts, probably get the engine completed and stuff like that in my next sitting. So again, hope you guys are enjoying it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.